Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Monday night from Los Angeles, California. Outside of the fireworks leading up the 4th of July, it's a very quiet Los Angeles, California in Lakerland, man. Lakerland is quiet. Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, the Rambi, very, very quiet right now. No Laker activity outside of the Max Christie signing prior to free agency. However, they didn't miss out today on one Klay Thompson, four-time NBA champion. Klay Thompson chose the Dallas Mavericks over the Los Angeles Lakers and potentially the Los Angeles Clippers on a 3-year, $50 million deal from Dallas. And a lot of different reasons as to how and why this could have happened. But it is regardless of the fact, it's a bad look again. And the Lakers are just racking up these bad looks. The Lakers are just racking up these L's, racking up these losses to other franchises. And look, the Clippers lost Paul George, and within moments, that didn't skip a beat, just started making moves, right? Just started making moves, started doing things. They re-signed James Harden, obviously. They signed Mo Bamba. They brought back, what's the French dude's name was? Nick Batum. They brought him back. They signed Chris Dunn. Like they got Jones Jr. You know, like they're out here making moves, like pivoting immediately. And what the Lakers are doing just is not the same. And it's oh, so I don't know. Hold on, I'm seeing something in the chat here. Give me 1 second. So I see you, Taze World here, man. I don't know what you're really talking about. Are you talking about the vertical feature? Is that what it is? He said it's a weird feature when the lives has its own section. Not sure what you're talking about there. But the Lakers were in on Klay Thompson. They met with him yesterday, as did Dallas. And in the end, it just seems like, I had heard something that the Lakers only offered 2 years, no guaranteed starting position. I don't know if this is true or not. Reports were out there today that the Lakers offered a 4-year, $80 million deal, and I'm not buying that for a second. I don't know if that's just smokescreen and put out there so they can't say like they didn't make a strong offer. But what I had heard, it didn't come anywhere near that. And 4 years, $80 million. Actually, I would have been upset if the Lakers really made that offer. That's an absurd offer to Klay Thompson. There's no reason an offer should have been made like that. And I don't believe that offer was ever made. But that's just me. Who knows? But like I said, the Clippers lose Paul George, pivot. Got a lot of cool players, man, to fill in, in that loss. But outside of that, the Lakers not be able to get literally anything. And it's not from a standpoint where I don't think they're trying. It's not from a standpoint where, like, I think they're not doing anything. Things can be complex, especially if they're looking on side and trades and stuff like that. There could be things holding it up right now. Shout out to my man Daniel Barry Sports Highlights with the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate you. Fire Pelinka at this point. Go Lakers. Daniel Barry, I'll tell you this, man. Look, you guys know me. I'm a pretty patient guy in general, in life, in sports, and everything. So I'm not going nuts yet over this. I'm really not going nuts yet over it. It's frustrating. The Klay situation. I hate the optics and I hate the narratives of the Klay situation. Klay, if we were to be able to get Klay at the mid-level, then okay, then that's definitely not something you would be upset about. Anything above the mid-level and you start going up there in price, I can start seeing where that could hurt you over time. Klay, I'm not going to bash Klay. I would have took him. I want to be clear about that. I would have took him, but I've seen a lot of people acting like all of a sudden he's trash because we didn't get him. They were for him. Now all of a sudden we didn't get him, and all of a sudden he's trash. I'm not gonna play you guys and go that route. I did have some concerns of him as far as his defense. Going 0 for 10 in a closeout game and having some struggles last year. I also, on the other hand, I felt that a change of scenery, a new environment, some new motivation, I think could maybe get him back on track. Klay will never be the defender that he once was. Those days are gone. But Klay can still get out there and shoot 40% from three. And I felt that him out there catch and shoot threes from Braun and AD, I felt that would have been a good fit. However, if he's starting the backcourt with Austin Reeves or D'Lo or something like that, then, our backcourt doesn't solve the issue with defense. So this is what we are right now. This is where we are. And now we pivot and, you hear all the talk about DeMar DeRozan, Jeremy Grant. Markkanen's name is popping up as far as Utah shopping him potentially, or listening to offers on him. I'd be surprised if the Lakers have enough to get someone like him. But like I said, putting him with AD and Bron in that front court, moving Bron to the three. I heard a lot of people talking earlier today that marketing can play the three. I mean, in the West, he's played 14% of his NBA career at the three. So it's not really what he does. I don't know if we want him chasing wings all game. But like I said, I don't even know if that's attainable. Even if the Lakers are like, we give you 29, we give you 31, we remove protection from 27, we give you connect. Like, that still might not even be enough, for what these other teams may be able to offer. So I don't know if that's a serious consideration right now or not. I'm not hearing any traction on that. The same names that we've been talking about for days is probably going to be some type of combination of what we end up with. The DeMar DeRozans, the Dorian Finney-Smiths, the Cam Johnsons, the Jeremy Grants, the Robert Williams, the perhaps a Colin Sexton, a Kessler, these type of names, the Bruce Browns. Like, these are the names that are kind of floating everywhere around there right now. And I really would have liked them to kind of had something in play and then might be able to snagged up a Chris Dunn type, a point of attack defender. Chris Dunn would have been a magnificent addition to this Laker team. Feels a complete need as a guy who can run point off the bench and be a very, very, very solid defender. And the fact that the Clippers got him, I didn't see any contract details on him. But I am assuming they had got to a point where they were, they got below tax for right now, but they're probably going to go over that. They were about $9 million room in that first apron space, and they were under the tax. So they had their non-taxpayer mid-level. So I'm curious to see how much they gave Chris Dunn, who didn't make a lot of money last year. But I felt like that was a player the Lakers could have been in contention for. It just didn't happen. But so I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see something like a D'Lo for Bruce Brown. I don't know if we're going to see something like D'Lo going back to Brooklyn. And whether it's Dorian Finney-Smith or Cam Johnson. I don't know if we're going to be some type of other deal that goes to Portland for Jeremy Grant. So there's one thing they could do with Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams, if that's the path they're going. And I don't know if they are, but it's been out there enough that I'm just breaking down the potential deal. So what they could do, they can make two deals here. They can make the deal for Jeremy Grant and his $29-something million, right? So D'Lo and D'Lo and a Rui and Gabe, something like that, right, would get you Jeremy Grant, right? And then you might be able to throw something in there extra. And then what it will be is you wouldn't get, more than likely, you wouldn't get Robert Williams in that trade. What you could do then is you could absorb him into your non-taxpayer mid-level exception. You can, the new layer of the CBA this summer is you can actually use it as a trade exception and you can trade someone into it. So again, this is not, I'm just giving you guys like the framework or the path of how this could happen, because theoretically you could do something like a D'Lo at 18, and then you could do something like a Rui at his age, and you get to about $36 million. That's not enough for those two. Then you still have to throw in Gabe, and I don't think that's a good deal. I don't think it's D'Lo, Gabe, and Rui for Grant and Robert Williams. I wouldn't probably do that deal. But if it's D'Lo and Gabe or Rui and Gabe to get you Grant, and then you can absorb Robert Williams on that exception there. So that's just a pathway. I'm not saying this is likely. I'm not saying that they should even do that. I'm just telling you it's been out there, and that's how it could work. Robert Williams, I know, is often injured, so a lot of people are not too thrilled about the prospect of that. But when healthy, he's a heck of a shot blocker. He can cover switches on the perimeter. And, then we'd have to get a bruising big to go with him. And those guys are just coming off the market. So the Valanciunas of the world went for less than a mid-level. He's gone. As you know, Andre Drummond went for 2 years, $10 million, $5 million a year. That would have been lovely for the Lakers to get someone like him. So they're kind of falling off the ranks here. Plumlee went for basically a minimum to Phoenix. So these guys are once again falling off the map here. They got Christian Wood, they got Jackson Hayes. That isn't going to be good enough. So those guys, I assume that the two of the three between Hayes, Wood, and Reddish, two of those three, I believe, will be gone via trade. No matter what the Lakers do, those guys will be going out in filler. I think two of those. Now you can't just dump all your minimum guys into a trade because they stop counting towards salary out. So you can't do that. So they can't all go in one trade. That's not going to happen. But they can go in different trades. So outside of that, we're kind of sitting here trying to figure out what can be done. what can be done? There's still plenty of guys out there. There's still plenty of things that could be done. Klay Thompson, I'm telling you, Klay Thompson would have been a luxury to have as a guy catching and shooting threes off of Braun and AD, but that doesn't take us to that next level. Like, it's still not the point of attack defender. It's not that 3-and-D wing, and it's not that big that can help AD. It would have been nice. It was a luxury, like I said. But outside of that, it's not the game-changing piece that we need. It's not. It would have been nice to have. I want to say it. I would have liked to have Klay. I want to be clear about that, but only at the mid-level. Going up to 20-something or 17, 18 for Klay when this team has so many other holes, it just probably wouldn't have been what this team overall needed. But the optics of it, the narratives of it, not ideal. Looking like the Lakers lost out on another person, which they indeed did. But there are other options out there. If they come out of this with DeRozan, there are a lot of people who feel that they'd rather have DeRozan than Klay. I do question the fit. I do question the spacing. I do question that. But I look at it like this. If Bron's going to opt to go for the max and you just get LeBron, or LeBron taking less to allow room for DeRozan, 10 times out of 10, I'm taking that, because one way we're just getting Bron, the other we can get Bron and DeRozan for the same money. So for my money in that situation, I'm taking DeRozan 10 times out of 10 in that situation, because you're essentially getting him for free with Bron taking the pay cut. And that's why I'm saying to take him, right? Now, that's one side. Now, if they're going to go and say, okay, now we're going to do a sign and trade for DeRozan, I don't think DeRozan's coming for that mid-level. I don't think that's happening. However, if they're able to go out there and let's say DeRozan, let's say it's D'Lo, and maybe a Gabe Vincent again gets that number up there, and then maybe, just maybe, DeRozan made $27 million last year. He's probably gonna have to take a little bit of a pay cut on that. So maybe you can get between Gabe and D'Lo, you're getting up north of $31 million there. So if you could get DeRozan to take like 23-ish, right, and you got $8 million to play with, you can go get another player in this deal. So the Lakers might be able to send out either like D'Lo and Gabe, or Rui and Gabe, and get DeRozan and another guy. They'd have to route D'Lo to another team, so it'd probably be like a 3-team deal. So keep your eye on Brooklyn. Orlando might not be in play now because they've used their cap space. They re-signed, some of their guys. They've added some guys, and I don't believe they cannot get D'Lo strictly in their cap space now. The Lakers would have to take back a player from Orlando in that situation. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that and see where that takes us. But keep an eye on Brooklyn. They have just about enough room for D'Lo. You could it could be D'Lo and a mini, or just D'Lo, and you might have to take back something and a mini to get that done. But there's a pathway there to where Chicago would essentially maybe kind of like what happened with Klay Thompson. You get a little something just for letting him be, go out in a sign and trade, maybe a couple seconds, something like that. Brooklyn can get D'Lo, and the Lakers could get DeRozan, but then you would still have the mid-level, okay? And then you could go, like I said, you could absorb like a Robert Williams. You could absorb someone like that. Anyone making south of that mid-level would be the money that you could get. And I know a lot of people, I've heard, a lot of people are wanting like the Miles Bridges, Nick Richards situation. I'm hearing that a lot from fans, but I'm hearing it nowhere when it comes to people actually like in the league, like talking about it. Like I've heard it nowhere. So if that is something that actually becomes possible, that's gonna kind of like sneak up on people. they're not gonna see that coming, because like I said, no one has spoke on conversations of that within the league, which I did find interesting. Give me 1 second here. What is going on here? 1 second, guys. Sorry. I'm having a little issue with my situation here. All right. Sorry about that. But I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that literally anywhere. So for that to like not be out there anywhere, that would be pretty stealth on the Lakers' behalf, which has been known to happen before. But outside of that, it's pretty much the same names we've been hearing, and we're kind of just waiting and seeing to know what happens with that. And like I said, when you're dealing with Bron taking a pay cut, you're dealing with DeRozan in a sign and trade. So you're going to have to do a sign and trade to a team like Chicago, who's notoriously difficult to deal with. Then you got to not only deal with a sign and trade with Chicago, but then you're doing a 3-team trade, and those are even more difficult. So there's a lot of things that could be going on with this that really, really slow this down. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. My browser, I don't know what is happening here, is acting an absolute fool. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. It is tripping. There we go. It went kind of went blank on me there for a second. There we go. Now I can see here. But so outside of that, like, where are you guys at? Are you guys excited? Like, potentially thinking that like DeMar is a chance? Do you think that's a chance? Like, do you think that is something that can happen? Do you guys believe it, or you don't believe it? Because the way I see it right now, man, it feels like everything the Lakers get attached to just don't seem to happen, right? It just doesn't seem to happen, and people are getting frustrated, and now they're to the point where they don't even want to believe that this is that this stuff is possible. For them to get these guys. 1 second here. All right, there we go. Twitter was spazzing out with this browser, so I was getting all these notifications like something happened. Another happened. So with that being said, it looks like DeMar might be the last chance as someone that LeBron would take that pay cut for. And if he decides to not take that pay cut, then that is kind of he goes back for that max, and that is just exactly where we are at that point. So appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We got Tay Weldon here pulling up. I saw you earlier. Appreciate you. Carlos, what's going on, man? Taco business, what's going on? Is this live or pre-recorded? This is live. I don't understand. Are people seeing something different? I don't understand, because Tay World says something. And now you're saying something, right? Is this something different? Are you guys seeing something different, or what's going on? I know my setup when I was going through like StreamYard in the YouTube studio, I don't know if my internet was tripping at the time, but it kind of started spazzing. But this is live. So let me know if anyone is having any problems or something. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. What's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to pull up on him. He's got a channel. Go ahead and check him out, man. Any inside news? I got no inside news right now. Nothing. All I heard earlier was like some intel I got about the Klay deal that the Lakers offered 2 years. That's what I heard. And then I saw a report of 4 years. So I don't really know what to believe. But I do find it hard to believe that they offered 4 years. It doesn't even seem like the Lakers. So I don't believe that they did that. Quality Kev, what's going on, man? Just with up the beat on us. Yeah, I got a different when I go with the this Empire Jeff TV logo. When I go with the red, white, and blue, I hit a little different there, man. So I got a couple different beats I've been toying with. The OG will be back tomorrow, though, man. Appreciate you for noticing. No, Jeremy, what's up, man? Says, what's up, Empire Jeff? In the grand scheme of things, we might be better off with the DeMar DeRozan, because one thing we lacked was a bucket getter, and he's improved 3-point shot plus decent playmaker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. If we get him, that wouldn't be the end of the world, man. Like I said, losing Klay was not the end of the world. It just, like I said, the optics of it just continue to be terrible. Just bad, right? Because it's another perceived like L by the Laker franchise, right? That they just can't get. They just can't get dudes. So 1 second. I don't know what happened with my internet here. I just want to make sure I'm good, because I saw some of you guys say something like in the chat. So I want to make sure everything is good here. I know that my Twitter was if anyone is on Twitter right now, let me know if you're able to see this, because my Twitter is big tripping here. So I want to make sure that if you are on Twitter, let me know, because it looked like it kind of spazzed out on me, and we gotta and I don't know what is happening. Okay. All right, there we go. Because this thing was kind of bugging on me, man. Sorry about that. Haven't had a little bit of internet issues. I was loading up here, but if you guys are on Twitter, let me know. I think I see some of you guys in here now. So there we go. There was a slight issue with Twitter. That seemed to have been the problem, man. Purple and gold, what's going on? What's happening, Jeff? Hopefully Rob is brewing something. Lakers Nation doesn't want to eat crumbs. Yeah, man, we don't want to see up here, and not just that. Like it's a bad, when you go out there and all these names are constantly attached, and it just none of them pop off. Like, I understand, I've always told you guys, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt, because these things tend to happen, man. And a lot of guys get linked to the Lakers, whether it's other teams using the Lakers as leverage, or whether it's agents using the Lakers as leverage, whatever it may be. This is not abnormal. Now, I don't believe for a second that Klay used the Lakers for leverage, because, like I said, at the end of the day, they got him for what their trade exemption was. So I don't necessarily think this was that typical Laker tax leverage play. It was said that supposedly the Golden State did not want D'Lo, which I understand. They ended up getting 2 second-round picks, and Green went to Charlotte. So I find it difficult to believe that, Brooklyn wouldn't have gave up maybe a second or 2 seconds for D'Lo to get a player like D'Lo and get that over to Golden State, and the Lakers get Klay. So it just seems to me that Klay just chose to go to Dallas, which is interesting. He turned down where his father works, a team he grew up watching. There's people saying he just didn't want to play with Braun. I'm not going to go there, but maybe that could be a thing. But like I said, it is no one knows why people do what they do. There's the whole state income tax thing in Texas. There's a lot of different reasons why players do what they do, and it just is what it is. And unfortunately, we lost out on Klay. It's a weird feature where the live has its own section. I still don't know what that means. Jeremy says Cam Johnson in a deal, if we can move D'Lo, would give us a real good 3-and-D shooter. That's better than having Klay, and he's younger, my G. Yeah, $23 million is not as bad now as it was before. I get it, and that might be something. Look, I heard earlier today his name a lot in some of my group chats, like a lot. So we'll see, if that goes down. But I do know that D'Lo, when he was looking at opting in, and I heard that in conversations when he was, considering opting back in, that it was like, if you're going to move me, or if this is going to happen, there was some dialogue there to where, if he was going to get moved, if he was going to opt in and get moved, if he could go, he likes the metropolitan areas, he likes, the LA, the Brooklyns, the Bay areas. He's lived in those cities. He played for the Warriors. He played for the Nets. He's played for the Lakers. And he didn't particularly love living in Minnesota too much. You know what I mean? So if you can get D'Lo to like a Miami, a Chicago, New York, the Bay Area, Houston, like something like of that nature. If you can get him into the city, like, then D'Lo is more happy with that, more inclined. So that's what he was hoping for when he opted in, that if there was going to be a trade, or even if he did a sign and trade out, that's exactly what he was looking for, right? Is getting in one of those cities. So maybe that could happen for him. LA for life. What's up, my guy? We are doomed. Haynes reported that DeMar isn't taking the MLE, and they had only exploratory talks. I've heard different things on that. So like I said, I've never seen so many conflicting reports in an NBA offseason out the gate as there has been in this one. So that keep that in mind. But exploratory talks, I don't believe that DeMar is taking the mid-level. I don't believe so. But the Lakers do have means to make a sign and trade happen. They do. But that remains to be seen. There's a difference between them having it and them doing it. So that remains to be seen. We will have to wait and see on that. But I myself do not believe he is coming for the mid-level either. But crazier things have happened. So we wait and we will see. Jeremy also says Clippers are picking bums and nobody we're missing out on. They're not bums, man. Chris Dunn is not a bum. Batum is not a bum. Derrick Jones Jr. is not a bum. Like, they're getting quality, good role players. Like, they are. And they've got, Kawhi and Harden, if Kawhi is healthy. Obviously, losing Paul George hits. What I'm saying is, my point being is, they're adding guys to their team even when they took a blow. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still pivoting. They're still action. They're still doing things. They're still signing tradable players. They are. So come December and January, these guys will have value in the league. So even if the Clippers are falling apart, or they're not, or they need some pieces to get better, they're now signing guys that they'll be able to, the teams would want, right? So the Lakers are literally doing nothing right now. So I'm not going to sit here and make fun of the Clippers for their signings. Obviously, the Paul George thing, they could have kept him if they wanted him. This wasn't like Paul George choosing to leave them just because he wanted out of there. This wasn't like Dwight Howard leaving the Lakers the first time. That's not what this was. He wanted to stay in LA. They just would not give him that fourth year. They would not give him that guarantee. And he was insistent upon that, and he didn't get it. That's why he left. So that was them, in a way, choosing not to keep him versus more than him choosing not to stay with them. So they kind of chose that path. So whereas they're kind of in the path that they decided to go. So they don't really see it as an L, because look, we're comfortable paying this. If not, we'll figure it out. They're cool with it. They'll take the heat. Whereas the Lakers, they're trying and just nothing is happening yet, right? So, I mean, that just is what it is. The Clippers have made some nice moves. I don't think it's going to make them a contender, but they're not just sitting on their hands. You know what I mean? LA Full Life says, yeah, Dunn is a beast. Dunn is such a good point of attack defender at the point guard position off your bench. Feels like he's like 35, but he's not. He's like 30. You know what I mean? Like, to get a guy like that, and he was out of the league at one point, but to get a guy like that, he kind of resurrected his career back in Utah. And like I said, that's why, they'll be trading Russ, because they go out and get a guy like Dunn, and he's going to be perfect for them. He's going to be perfect for them. And I said this when the Paul George news came out. Like, the Clippers did not just flat out say, all right, we're going to let you go for nothing, just for nothing. They didn't do that. Like, it wasn't like, we're going to let you go for nothing for no reason. Like, that still is, like, they still got means over there. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to have time to figure it out. But there's a lot of teams kind of sitting around, like even Phoenix, who really didn't have any means to do anything, are still finding ways to add players. You know what I mean? Even at the minimum, they're getting guys. So, you got, there is movement. There just wasn't a lot of major free agent guys this year. And that's why, trades are a possibility. Like, you still have Levine out there. You still have Trey Young. Donovan Mitchell still has not signed that extension. Laurie Marketing, they're listening in on him and seeing if he's available. Like, what happens with Jared Allen? Cleveland wasn't too happy with him when he didn't play at the end of the season, though there are people hinting that, he should have or could have played, that he chose not to. Like, how does that work out over there, right? The Brooklyn situation with blowing everything up. Do they get a team to take on the salary of Ben Simmons at the end of that, right? And get him out from there? Like, is someone like, look, there's 1 year left of $40 million. Is there a team out there that's got a player that's got like 2 or 3 years left and they want to dump, and they're like, look, we'll take that $40 million this year, we'll buy him out, and we clear our books for 2 seasons after that. So there's a lot of movement that still could happen here in the league when it comes to salary dumping. Like, does the Levine get dumped somewhere? Does he end up in Detroit in their space because Chicago is trying to get rid of him? Like I said, Trey Young. Where do these guys go? There's still plenty of movement to be had out there. Lakers all day. Lakers Dodgers for life. What's going on, my guy? Clippers will be Clippers. That is true. Yeah, it was what you said, the vertical feature. Okay, you had me tripping out. I thought something else happened. My whole setup was tripping at first, man. My internet started like spazzing out right when I went online, so I think the Twitter feed was all jacked up. So if you're on Twitter, shout out to y'all guys. I apologize for that. I'm not sure what happened in the beginning of it, but it looks like things are back online and doing well now. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Late stream tonight, man. I got in the house a little late tonight. I was out and about and got in a little after 10. So not going to be as long of a stream tonight. Got to get up early tomorrow, but definitely wanted to tap in with you guys. I had people hitting me up on Twitter asking me if I was going live. I told them yeah, so I didn't want to lie. But we here. So again, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. It goes a long way to help out the channel. We're at 1497, man. We trying to get to 1500 tonight. So, man, 3 subs away from 1500. So help your boy out, man. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. And again, shout out to everyone over there on Twitter. Like the post, repost the post, get it out there in the universe. You can also become a member at Empire Jeff TV. Go ahead and click the description. The first link in the description is how to become a member. For less than the cost of lunch, you can become a member for an entire month. 3 different tiers there. Great way to help monetize and help the channel. It's like giving 1 super chat a month, being a member. And like I said, it helps us out. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for their cash apps, their super chats, their super stickers, and their super thanks. Goes a long way to help out. Switch Flames podcast. What's going on? Appreciate you for tuning in. Lakers gave 4 players on a minimum deal player option. Such a stupid thing to do. Yeah. Teams do that all the time, and they rarely have it where they all hit. So I don't think it was 4. I think it was 3. And they all hit. And I said it, like, none of these guys are opting out because they didn't have a year They didn't have a year where they could be like, okay, I can capitalize on this, and why give up a year into bird rights? So it just doesn't make sense for them to do that, right? So here they are. Two of those three, I think, will be gone. Part of me feels like Christian Wood isn't going to be on this team. Just everything he was going through last year, and I just, part of me thinks that it may be Jackson Hayes or Cam that stays. I'm really starting to believe that Christian Wood is out of here. We'll have to wait and see on it, though. Taco Business says, do you guys like China? I don't know how to answer that. I've never been to China. Moving on. LA for life. Clippers are a dark horse. Here's the thing about the Clippers, man. I know it's fun to make fun of and clown and joke and all that stuff, and it's all in good sportsmanship. It's fun, and I do it too. It's just talking trash, man. It's all part of the gamesmanship. But at the end of the day, no matter what anyone says about them, like they're a good organization, man. They've got a very filthy rich owner. They run that team a certain way. It hasn't worked out. It hasn't led to a championship, and it's been that way for a lot of teams. But at the end of the day, like, they still go out every offseason, every trade deadline, everything, and they continue to try. They do. They continue to try. Now, they can afford to make mistakes where the Lakers can't, even though the Lakers have made a ton of mistakes. But the Clippers have the means to get out of those mistakes. Like, they'll eat money. They can do things that the Lakers typically don't. So they have more margin for error because they're not operating on a shoestring budget like the Lakers have been. Bridges, what's going on, man? The Jazz trade has to be our best option at this point. Marketing and DeRozan would be solid if Utah is willing. If they decide marketing, like I said, Lakers 2 picks, remove the protection on 27. They'd have to give it connect. Like you're gonna have to pay a lot to get someone like marketing, just, and for a guy to play next to AD, that's gonna cost you a lot to get him, like a lot, and you're giving up your entire future to get him. Mr. Laid Back, what's going on, my guy? He said, salute, Jeff. I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Pelinka can't do any trades, and if the same players come back. That's gonna be problematic, because look, I'm not for making a trade just to make a trade. That's not what I'm saying. But I just know this fan base, and I know how impatient and toxic some pockets of the fan base can be, and that's not going to go over well if he does nothing. If they run this majority of last year's team back, that is not going to go over well, and it's just going to be another handful of months of just dread and just listen to nothing but just ugh. Like, for the sake of our sanity, Rob Pelinka, please make a move. Do something just so. Look, they typically get excited over any move you make, man. You just make a move, man. Just make a move and buy yourself some time. Make a move. You can't be day 3 and 4 free agency, and the only thing you've done is Max Christie. That can't happen. That can't happen. You gotta do something here, man. That's gonna be brutal for you. And you're going to be bashed everywhere. But, talking to people who cover the sport, they all seem to believe that something's up. They all seem to believe that it's not going to be ran back. Now, these things are fluid. These things change on the regular. These conversations I had earlier in the day. So who knows where they stand tonight? But I didn't hear a single person in the people that I reached out to that got back to me that felt that they were going to stand pat and run it back. So doesn't mean they won't, but I didn't hear anyone say that. So in the event of that, we're going to have to wait and see. Miguel, what's going on, Miguel? Jeff, I'm not too sold on wasting a D'Lo trade only for DeRozan. Would rather have him on the MLE. I mean, it would be ideal. I think it would be great to get a player like DeRozan on an MLE, but I just don't think you're going to get him on an MLE. He's too good of a player. But it also depends. So here's the thing. Everyone, I was on a panel earlier, and people were saying, well, no one has any other money. No one has any free agent money. I get that, but he's not looking for an MLE or free agent money. He's looking to be signed and traded out like Klay was. So there are plenty of teams who have the ability to do a sign and trade. So don't be looking at who has free agent money. Start looking at trades and who could trade for him and do a sign and trade out. He shot like 32 or 33% from 3 last year. Yeah, he did, and that's improving. that's improved off of his career. And that's the thing. That's with him shooting higher volume. That's with him playing kind of being the top guy over there, playing off Braun and AD. Maybe get some wide open one. Maybe he can open up his game to that, right? We've seen it before with guys, but at the same time, his deep twos and his midi are great. And in that short pick and roll, that snag pick and roll with AD, he'd be great in that. Like I said, the fit, the spacing, depending on JJ can make that work. But if you got shooters out there, it can help that open. And I think you got to think about it like this. If you got someone like DeRozan and you're able to let him cook out there for a bit, then maybe at times you can give Braun or AD more rest. You got two of those three out there a lot at once, right? And kind of free up some space to get him going. So maybe Braun's minutes can dip dramatically there, and DeMar and AD can be out there and let Braun get the rest he should be and try to keep him at 30, 32 minutes a game. And that would be ideal. So someone like DeRozan in that type of situation could really help with that. No holds barred. What's going on, man? Salute fan free agency options looking bleak. No Memphis. Yeah. It is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is right now. Appreciate you tuning in. Miguel says, Kuz has a beautiful contract, by the way. Declines after every season. Yeah, Kuz has one of those like Dylan Brooks contracts too that just roll backwards every year. That would be fantastic to get. But last we heard, they wanted 2 first-round picks for him. And the Lakers aren't giving up 2 first-round picks for Kyle Kuzma. And so far to date, no other team has agreed to either, and that's why he's still in Washington. They wanted 2 picks for Dorian Finney-Smith. That's why he's still in Brooklyn. So, like, some of these guys are going to have to come off some of these pick demands because these guys, someone like the Lakers, aren't giving up 2 first-round picks for guys like that. They wouldn't even give up 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray. So they're not going to give up 2 first-round picks for these other guys. That's not going to happen. Some of these guys, I don't even know if they're worth the first-round pick. Like, I like Kyle Kuzma, but 2 first-round picks, get out of here. Like, that's not going to happen. So I'm not even sure I'd give an unprotected first-round pick for Kuzma. As valuable as those picks are, with so many teams not having first-round picks over the next 7 years, to be a team that has some, like, those have value. So I don't even know if I'd give a flat-out unprotected first-round pick for Kuzma. I don't know if I would. Lewis, what's going on, brother? What's good, my brother Jeff? What's good with you, sir? Hope you're having a good one, man. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Just because I'm Reese. What's going on, Reese? What's up, brother, man? Hope you're having a good night, man. Thank you for tuning in as well. But what up? How you doing this? Haven't seen your lives in a while. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. I got no complaints, family. Spend a lot of time with family. Work is great. Get to spend the time, here with y'all. I'm good, man. Hope you're doing well as well. I don't know if you're not getting the notifications, but I've been going live. But so I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Make sure you got the notification bell turned on. You're subscribed, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you can probably see us pop up. I'm pretty much here almost every night. So usually around this time. So appreciate y'all. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. We still at that 1497, trying to get to 1500. Drop a like on the video as well. We would greatly appreciate you, man. D-Lo for Bruce, Miguel says, and that is something I heard multiple times today. I still heard Bruce Brown's name over and over again today. So they're definitely still talking to them. I don't know where that stands. I don't know if it's probable. I don't know, how far along those talks are, but they've definitely checked in with each other over time and throughout this period. So it is what just happened? What the heck just happened? Sorry, guys. My browser been bugging here. So I definitely apologize for that. LA for Life said Utah and Clippers on a sign and trade. That was for Dunn. It was a sign and trade. Okay. I just saw that it happened. I didn't see anything after that. It's like the Lakers aren't desired anymore. I wouldn't go that far. The Lakers are always desired. It's just a matter of it is just guys have plenty of options. They got situations depending on the money. If they're taking a pay cut, taxes, the fit, what type of role are you promised? You got a rookie head coach, you got LeBron. There's some things that people may just be like, I don't know about this. I don't know what just happened here. Like, I'm telling you, my whole stream is tripping. I just saw, like, I've never seen this before where I just saw like my own ad. like what is going on here? So these things like aren't as simple as I want to go to LA. Like, it doesn't. This new CBA has made things Very difficult for teams at times, and even some players to do things. Lakers will be lucky to get Fultz at this point. I threw that out there today. I was like, what do y'all think about someone like a Markelle Fultz? What do you guys think about that? I was like, not from a Laker perspective, but I would say, what do you guys think his market value is for someone like him? I don't know, right? So I think, you look at some of these guys and you try to think about their market value. The fact that Isaiah Hartenstein got $80 million, man, that's a lot of money for a guy that was basically a walk-on with the Clippers a couple years ago, got a mid-level from New York, and then now sitting here at $80 million with OKC. So a lot of guys are getting paid. Claxton in Brooklyn got $100 million. Like, people were saying, oh, maybe the Lakers can get him at the $5 million. I'm like, guys, that's not happening. You're not even able to get him at the mid-level. Like, oh yeah, you can. He got $100 million, right? Malik Monk didn't even test free agency. He went out there and got his bag. And then it's just, sometimes you try to figure out what someone's market is, and it just doesn't hit. I think JJ wants Cam Johnson. I think that I can see that happening. I can see him being a guy that JJ would absolutely have interest in. I think a lot of teams would have interest in him. Like I said, 3-and-D wing at $23 million. When the cap is going up, his money is nowhere near as crazy as it was when he first signed that deal. Rob is on the hot seat, the hot seat. Yeah, man, the base is not happy with him right now, man. Please don't say NBA insider GOAT. What does that even mean? Oh, man. Think Orlando ready to give up Wendell and Markelle after signing Goga, and it talks with like I said, I like Markelle Fultz. I've been supporting him for a while, ever since he was going through his situation when he got drafted. I've seen steady improvement there. He's a good player. He's a good player. A lot of people don't watch the Magic. A lot of people haven't watched him play. He's a good player, man. I would not mind him on the Lakers. He's obviously not a primary target in free agency, but I really would not mind him. He's a good player, man. What's going on, Rel? My brother Rel, congrats on Klay, my guy. Shout out to my bros over at We Talk Mavs. Make sure to go over there, subscribe to the channel over there. They do great work over there, Rel and King over there. So pull up on them. We Talk Mavs. They're doing some stuff on their playback as well as all their socials. We Talk Mavs. You guys know I'm always encouraging you to check out other streams, other teams, and keep your ear to these NBA streets. And We Talk Mavs is the best Mavs coverage around. So make sure to pull up and give them some support over there. Appreciate you, brother. Bruce Brown's agent, Empire, just still working on trade with the Lakers. I am not Bruce Brown's agent. I just have heard it for so much that I just said, like, eventually I feel like it's going to happen, because it's been nonstop since last summer. Bruce Brown and the Lakers, Bruce Brown and the Lakers. Like, the Lakers have repeatedly tried at this. Repeatedly. Needed some late night fire content to listen to. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. No Hold Barred says, what do you think about Hield or Trent Jr.? Looks like they're still out there. I'm curious to see what their market is. Is Buddy Hield a guy that's going to get less than a mid-level? Like, is he a guy that's going to take like that $5 million mid-level? Is he a guy that slips through the cracks and maybe settles for a minimum for 1 year? I don't know, right? But he's been a guy that the Lakers have been linked to. Gary Trent is another guy that the Lakers have been linked to. Gary Trent is a Clutch client. Buddy Hield is Rob Pelinka's former client, so there's familiarity there between those two guys. I can see them being as an option depending on what shapes out here. But right now, though, those are lower level guys here. Bridges says DeRozan, Gary Trent, Lonnie, Fultz, Buddy, Tyus Jones are options. Thomas Bryant for a minimum interests me. He might be the best big left or Wiseman. See, Thomas Bryant, if you have a coach that's going to play him with AD, like, maybe, but it didn't work out too well last time he was here. He kind of asked out. Tyus Jones, I think, is priced out for the Lakers. Gary Trent, like we said, Fultz, Lonnie, DeRozan. DeRozan is obviously the top, the higher tier and more desired, but all those other names are technically possible. Hayes said he's not taking no MLE. Hayes, which Hayes? Oh, you talking about Haynes and you're talking about DeRozan? Yeah, I don't think he is either. Rob needs to be let go as a GM. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. Genie won't do that. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. Mr. Layback says, wait a minute, if DeRozan a free agent, why are the Lakers doing a sign and trade? Why wouldn't that hard cap the Lakers? It would, but the Lakers using their mid-level would also hard cap them. So if you're going to be hard capped, you might as well use all the things that you can't do all the things that you can use that would cause a hard cap anyways, which is using the non-taxpayer mid-level, sign and trade in, or taking more money back that you send out. Any of those would hard cap you anyways. So if you do one of them, you might as well do the others because it hard caps you anyways. And that's what I'm saying. So if Braun is taking a pay cut to open up that full MLE, then that effectively is saying that the Lakers would be hard capping themselves by doing so. What's going on, Tamika? Thank you for tuning in as usual. I appreciate you. Tony says LeBron getting $33 million isn't really a pay cut. That's about what he's worth. And 40 playing him $50 million is an overpay and negative bad contract. I mean, his worth is different than it's not as easy to just state his worth, right? His worth to the organization is probably $100 million a year. His worth to the organization as far as the business. His worth on the basketball court, like he still draws. Lakers still sell out. He's a draw. Like people still show up to see him. They sell out home and road arenas. So I get it. But at the same time, like if your 40-year-old is making $50-60 million, and you're going to be really hard pressed to build out your team. So I understand that. But as far as the business of basketball, him still being a cash cow and a draw for both the Lakers and the NBA, LeBron could be paid $100 million a year and that'd still be value, right? But when you're in a apron era and a cap era and hard cap eras and all these things, like I said, a 4-year-old making that much money does handicap the team for sure. DeRozan is a bucket getter. We haven't had a player that can score consistently like he does. He would be good for us in close games. He absolutely would. There's no doubt about that. But we just got to wait and see if Rob can get this done. And again, let me ask you guys, if Rob gets DeRozan after missing out on Klay, what do you guys say? What do you think? Are you happy with that? Like, let me know. DeMar said he wanted on the Lakers a couple of years ago, so I think it's a chance, but very slim if they don't get the number he wants. Yep. Facts. Still love that intro. I appreciate you, Reese. What's going on, my Court Kings brother here, the graphic guy, Chris? What's going on, bro? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Bridges said, okay, they're talking to each other. Let me mind my business. Satro said, yo, Jeff, let's get it, bro. Appreciate you for tuning in, my brother. Alejandro said, hey, Jeff, blessings to you and your family. Appreciate you, man. Family's doing well. Like I said, y'all know we had a little hiccup about, week or so ago. So last week I was kind of MIA, but things are, gradually getting better by those that were affected. So thank you guys. It was a rough week, but we back at it, man. Appreciate y'all. Dilo needs to be moved now that his name is out there in trade rumors. He will use that against us if we end up keeping him. He's a diva. Yeah, or just goes through a rough patch again, right? Alejandro said Boston's difference maker was upgrading 2 starting positions through trades. I see the same path of success. Grant is upgrade to Rui, who's a true upgrade to our 3rd best player last year, D'Lo. Yeah, maybe DeRozan, right? So that I agree with you. Still can't understand signing Kawhi over PG long term, says No Hold Bars. Well, I mean, Kawhi was the guy that chose them. The Kawhi was the guy that gave them legitimacy. He was the biggest free agent in the world. He just came off winning a championship. So they still obviously hold him in high regard for choosing them, as like what the Lakers are doing with Braun right now. Kawhi is not the draw that Braun is. He is not the cash cow that Braun is, but he did something for the Clippers that no other player really could do. Chris Paul was traded there. Blake Griffin was drafted. He chose them and gave them instant, legitimate stance in the league and made them a title favorite. So, they just haven't forgot that. And while people are killing them saying that, the Lakers are taking care of Braun, they took care of Kobe, the Clippers not taking care of Paul George, superstars aren't going to want to go there. And I'm just like, well, they took care of Kawhi. They took care of Harden. Paul George just didn't want the same deal that Kawhi got, and that's just right for that. That's what free agency is about. So it definitely is a risk of them signing that deal that they gave Kawhi, just like it was a risk the Lakers when they gave Kobe that 2-year deal after he tore his Achilles. But when you get a guy like that, of that talent, and you like Steph in Golden State, they're probably going to keep him there forever. And those type of guys, you want to retire with your franchise. You really do. And I get why they did that with Kawhi from that perspective. Now, I don't know how many wins that's going to lead to and how many games or playoff games he's going to play. that remains to be seen. Miguel says either way, the 76ers are second round exit at best. I think Philly's going to be good, man. I think they're going to be good. Like, they've added a lot of pieces there. And, but again, this all comes down to Joel Embiid's health, as always. If he stays healthy, then this team can do something. If he doesn't, then they can't. So we will have to wait and see as to what happens with them. But it all comes down to Joel. It really does, as usual. And with Joel, he has these problems with his knees and doesn't seem to last for an entire season, like, ever. And so in order for that to be something that's not a threat to them, then they added Drummond. Like, they've got depth. They've got Paul George. Russell Westbrook may still end up there. He's been, he likes to kind of go where Paul George is. Richard Pizarro says DeAndre Hunter underrated. DeAndre Hunter is underrated, but he is not underpaid. So, like I said, the Lakers are in a situation where it's not just easy for them to do some of these things. So DeAndre Hunter is 27 years old. He's making about $21.5 million. He's 3 years left on his deal, 21, 23, and then $24 million. Small forward. Like I said, he is kind of underrated. He is kind of an under the radar guy. I am not sure what his asking price would even be. Like, I haven't heard his name out there enough to know what his asking price would even be. Tony says, has Court King's Chris started designing the Bruce Brown t-shirts yet? Not yet, because we don't have them. We don't have them yet. But if we get him, maybe there'll be one. Alejandro says, is Cam Johnson that much better than Rui? Does he defend than Rui? Is that the trade instead of creating another hole in D'Lo? He's a better defender than Rui. He is a better shooter, especially in that corner three. He can drain. He's a good 3-and-D guy to play off stars. He has. He played well off of KD, man. I mean, not off KD. He played well off of Booker and CP3. He's a good player. Get this guy off my team again. Clippers need to try harder. Yeah, everyone needs to try harder, man. In fact, some Laker fans are just crazy. Oh, I mean, that's a fact. Like, I love my Lakers. I love Laker fans. I love a lot of Laker fans. But some of them, they give us a bad name. They're never happy. They're either too high, too low, tantrums, toxic. Every fan base has them. It's just our fan base is so big that even our toxic portion of them is big because our base is so big. But it's not relative of, doesn't define us as a franchise, even though I hate that we get associated with them, right? So it just is what it is. Every job, every company's got bad apples. Every family has bad apples. Every neighborhood has bad apples, and every fan base has bad apples. It just is what it is. That's not me bashing Laker fans. I am one. But at the end of the day, some of them are just completely unreasonable and toxic. And it just gets crazy. And no, it's not just the LeBron fans. It's not. Because while there are player fans and player stands, there are also team stands that their team can do no wrong, that it's always someone else's fault, that they have to have someone to blame. It can't just be stuff went wrong, right? In their eyes, it can't just be stuff went wrong. It has to be someone's fault. Sometimes it's just not that case. A lot of times it is. But at the end of the day, sometimes it just is what it is. Like, you move on. We're not going to win every year. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. Dan Inspirations, what's up, man? Lakers stinking. Man, I'm tired. All downhill since Jerry Buss died. Yeah, rest in peace, Jerry Buss, man. Rest in peace, Dr. Buss. D Scales, what's going on, man? As long as D'Lo gone and replaced with a defensive-minded guard, I'm content. Yeah, that's what it is. They need some defense in that backcourt. They have for a while, and they need a point-of-attack defender. They have for a while, and that's just what needed on this team almost more than anything. A big is very important, but a point-of-attack defender is huge and very, very important. Speaking of important, man, we have 1499, man. We need one more to get to 1500 on the channel, man. If you're in the building and have yet to subscribe, please subscribe to the channel. We're one away from 1,500. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. If you're on Twitter X, I see about 100 people over there right now. Make sure to repost the video, like the video. Greatly appreciate that as well. But like I said, we're just trying to get to 1,500. We're one away. Let's try to get to 1,500 during the stream. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it, man. Miguel says, Bruce Brown chatter has been quiet. It's better not to say who they're going for. That way they aren't anyone to outbid us. I mean, they've been talking to Bruce Brown for so long, about Bruce Brown for so long. It's out there. Everyone knows it's out there. Clip Gang says, damn, Lakers sucks. Feel bad. I mean, we don't suck. I mean, but we're not a contender status right now. We're not out there chasing a ring, you know what I mean? But we also didn't just lose our second best player for nothing, you know? So it is what it is. This time of year, it happens. Maybe the league hates on the Lakers because how they treated Jerry West, man. Nah, that's not it, man. That's not it. The Lakers been having their issues long before what happened with Jerry West, man. Long before. Bridges says Rob is definitely working on something. Gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, I mean, he's working on something. He's always working on something. It's not like he's just sitting in his office, not taking or making phone calls, not, emails, text, not on conference calls. Like, that's not the case. It's just you can put in all the work. You can do all these things and still have it not work out your way. I mean, it just happens. If DeRozan wants to be signed and trade and it's just about money, then he will have to use the minimum guys and Vincent to send back, nothing more. No, it'd have to be more than Vincent. And you can't just stack a bunch of minimum guys either. They don't let you do that. Even though their money wouldn't equal DeRozan, but you couldn't put like 3 minimum guys into the deal to try to get to $9 million out. They don't let you do that. DeRozan can also help more if we get a center who can shoot the three like a Brook Lopez. Yep. I wonder how he's going to address the media tomorrow. Connect and Bronny introduction without any acquisition. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we get some news in the morning. Maybe we do. Or maybe, he steps up and says, basically what I'm telling you. The talks are fluid. Things are in play, and we'll see what happens. The Nets already said they will take D'Lo and give DFS and Cam Johnson. Yeah, I mean, the Brooklyn is interested in D'Lo, and D'Lo is interested in Brooklyn. So, like I said, there's a natural fit there. And if the Lakers need a third team to send D'Lo to, and they can essentially get D'Lo for free, I think Brooklyn does it. Purple, that's a good question. My fault. Rob just have to pick. What's going on, Johnny? Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. We still at that $14.99, y'all. Come on, hit that sub if you haven't done so already. Perimeter, what's going on? Trevor Lane is being ripped to pieces. Why? What happened? What did he do? What did he do? I'm not sure what's happening here. I don't want to butcher this name, but I'm just gonna call you H. What about Markkanen and Buddy Hield? Markkanen is a possibility if if there's not a bunch of teams out there offering 4 or 5 picks. If teams aren't offering that, then the Lakers have a chance. But I just don't know if they're gonna want to give up their entire future for him. That's tough. And then Utah would have your entire future. Redick wants 3s in space. We're gonna end up with Buddy Hield in a minimum. Pelinka was his agent. Yeah, that's what I've been saying that too. So I agree. We also end up with Prince and Dinwiddie back. I think Prince and Dinwiddie are both possible to come back. And that's why I think 2 of those guys are out of there. And I think it's going to be Christian Wood and Cam or Hayes. Let's see. Alejandro says, you are so Bruce Brown's agent. You know what? It doesn't even have to. It doesn't even, I'm going to be clear. It doesn't even have to be Bruce Brown. It doesn't. It doesn't. It just has to be someone like that. We need another dog on the team. That's funny, though. We just need another dog on the team. Look, if the Lakers don't get Bruce Brown, I'm not throwing a fit. I just want a player like him. I want someone who can do the things that he does. A guard that can rebound, defend, hit an occasional 3, has a little spice, talks a little trash, has some grit. He's a dog. Like, that's the type of player I want. It does not have to be Bruce Brown. I'm not out here campaigning for Bruce Brown. I just know that he's linked to them and he's continuously been linked to them. H says, Lakers always interesting players, nothing doing. Yeah, right now, nothing. A lot of people talking about the empty war room. I needs Genie invest her resources. Bro, I was dying about that empty war room, man. I laughed for a minute. It wasn't just that, man. It wasn't that it was empty. It was that the wires, it was the Amazon basic chargers. It was just, man, I was dying when I saw that, man. And then their digital team messing around and going live on accident. Just there's so many bad things at once, man. Buddy Hield for the MLE. I don't think they're going to get Buddy on the MLE. If they get Buddy, maybe if he sneaks through on a mini. You're right about Gary Trent. We've been linked to him for years now. Wouldn't mind seeing him in purple and gold. No, I wouldn't mind it either. Like I said, these are kind of like secondary moves, though. If they miss out on DeRozan, I don't think LeBron takes the pay cut. I think he signs the max, and then we don't have money other than that $5 million to get someone or trade. Right now we are in a better shape for D'Lo opting in than him not. So we still have that money that we can move, whether it be him or Rui or Gabe. So we still have things we can do. With your knowledge in sports, Jeff, to be honest, football, baseball, basketball, boxing, etc., you should challenge Stephen A. Stephen A has been doing this for 30 years. I appreciate that though, but like I said, I know Stephen A. I know that he gets a lot of heat for his takes and a lot of stuff that he does. And at the end of the day, that's a smart man, and he's been doing this forever. I am nowhere near the realm of a Stephen A. Smith, but I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. I'm humble, but I also know my worth. I know I'm good at what I do. But outside of that, I also know when someone is that dude. You know what I mean? And Stephen A is that dude. Point blank. Period. It's why ESPN basically gave him the platform. It's basically why he can write his own check. It's basically why they pay him so much. And I've been following Stephen A's career for a very long time. I remember. I told y'all, for those who know my origin and those who know how I kind of got started with my media contacts and how I kind of like built out my whole like network of communication, all started back, when a lot of these guys were beat writers and columnists and local reporters, some fresh out of college, some on internship, right. And so in that era of doing such, I remember the days of one Stephen A. Smith at the Philadelphia Inquirer. Like, I remember this. Like, I remember reading his columns. I remember this. I remember sending him emails. Like, I remember this. Like, this was a very long time ago. Then I remember when he started like popping up on CNN-SI, and then when he started popping up kind of like on ESPN the first time, and then was gone. And then so I remember the early stages of Stephen A. Smith. And then when he got that show, quite frankly, on ESPN. Like, I remember like the very, very early on Stephen A. Smith. And then I remember the very, very early on radio heavy Stephen A. Smith when he started getting his talk shows. So like I've studied his career. He's been an influence on me because like I've watched him since he literally got started. Right. And so even to be mentioned in the same sentence is incredible, but I am nowhere near the level of a Stephen A. Smith whatsoever. I hope to one day have my own radio show. I do. I hope to one day have my own sports talk show. I really, really do. That's always been a dream of mine, a goal of mine. But it's not easy to do. Everyone would do it, man. But appreciate that. Stanley Johnson is my GOAT. What's going on, bro? Jeff, I believe Rob will not make any moves. I don't have faith anymore on Rob. And that's fair, man. I understand. Everyone is right to have their opinion and their take and then their levels of frustration. I totally understand it. Me, I'm holding out hope. We still got some time. We still got some things that can be done. But we're going to have to wait and see on that. And right now it is wait and see. We're like at that delay at the airport, man. We're sitting here waiting for our next flight. We have no say. We have no control. We're just sitting here waiting. And it's tough to wait. It gets frustrating. I understand it. We want to know. We want to know what our team is going to be. But our team don't play till October, y'all. Our team don't play till October. So even if we find out who it is, we don't get to see him play for months. Bridges says, I would like DeRozan, but it all depends on what you put around them. Facts. Tyrone, what's going on, bro? Sign and trade for DeRozan and sign Gary Trent and Miles Bridges and James Wiseman. You really like you some Miles Bridges, Tyrone. You really do. What's going on, Craig? Appreciate you, brother. Bridges, Tyrone, the money don't work. There's way too much yet. Brandon Kobe, what's going on? What did you think Jonas Valanciunas? I think he would have been great on the Lakers. I think he would have been a solid big. But like I said, a lot of people are talking about how he got played off the floor when the Lakers were playing him. He went for less than the mid-level. I think that he won't last the full season in Washington. I think he gets traded by the deadline. I think you're seeing a lot of these guys that sign with teams that may get moved later on. Even a KCP may not finish his Orlando contract there. You know what I mean? Like, these guys will sign these guys and use them as moving salary to get other guys if it's not working out, or if they can take that and upgrade their roster with it, right? So someone like a Valanciunas, I think, will be available around this trade deadline. I think he's a solid player. I think he's cool. As like a combination big of someone you have, but he's not like a guy that's going to save your season. But I wouldn't have minded him next to AD because he's kind of that strong big, and we do need one of those bruising strong bigs. What's going on, Patrick? Appreciate you, brother, for tuning in. I still don't think Jeff Rob will make moves to improve our roster. All of these rumors is fake. I can't see it happen. He's going to do something. There's no way we run back the same exact team. Like, he's going to do something, y'all. I think DeRozan fits with the Lakers. Well, people forget LeBron is a 40% three-point shooter. DeRozan can be the ball handler with Braun as a spacer. Yeah, if we got Braun hitting threes, if I don't like, Reeves, see how he plays under JJ, connect out there, getting minutes. Max Christie going to be getting minutes. The Lakers were top 10 in shooting last year. They could shoot. They were fine with shooting the ball. They just didn't shoot it enough. But everyone was acting like the Lakers couldn't shoot. That's a false narrative. So yeah, I think he can fit, but also I think him with AD and getting Braun extra rest, I think DeRozan will be able to find pockets of a game where he can kind of take over and do his thing. And we need that. Those minutes of Braun and AD on the bench, or one of those on the bench, is brutal for us. And having a guy like DeRozan who can cook for 4, 5, 6 minute stretches would be something ideal. Now, when they're all three on the court, they're going to have to figure some of that out. That goes without saying. But outside of that, like there's still potential for it to work. Jason Jimenez, what's going on, man? If we didn't have to wait for Klay decision, do you think we could have signed Jonas? Nah, I mean, I don't know if the Lakers were. Well, here's the thing. I'm not fully convinced that LeBron was willing to take that pay cut for him. I'm really not. But we'll never know, maybe. But he did take less than the mid-level, and Drummond took $5 million a year. You know what I mean? So it's just waiting for Klay was just one day. But sometimes all it takes a couple hours. You wait and you miss out. Let's see. Tony says California Classic, Los Angeles Lakers at Sacramento, 1:30 p.m. this weekend. July 7th. Yeah. It was youngest play. And then we got Summer League the following weekend, which I'm hoping to be out there in Vegas for that, man. If my family member who's currently recovering and was in the hospital is if that situation is better, then I'm hoping to be in Vegas for Summer League, man. I am. Gavin, what's going on, man? Got you. Appreciate that. I believe I feel the same, but Patrick says Mavs will be a play-in team next season and Klay will be O10 Klay. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Alejandro Herrera says you are so Bruce Brown's agent and you are trying to get him a sponsorship with kibbles and bits because you keep saying he is a dog we need. We need a dog. We need a dog. You guys know I'm a dog guy, man. Where's Lucky at? You guys know I'm a dog guy, right? We need dogs on this team. Again, it does not have to be Bruce Brown. That's funny, though. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me. Hey, if it means we get him, then I'm with it, man. We need someone like him. We absolutely do. That's hilarious. I'm not. I can't with y'all, man. Craig says, how do Celtics afford all these expensive re-signings the last Tuesdays? Their starting five makes a lot of money. Bird rights. Good old-fashioned bird rights, man. And that's what happens when you build within the draft or you move your draft picks for guys that you retain their bird rights. You sign them. You have continuity. Boston's going to have to do something, though. They can't live in that second apron these 3 straight seasons. Next year, there's no way out of it. Last year, they were in it. This year, they have to make a move or two to get below that. 2 years from now, they'll have a way to get under it because it continues to rise. But if they stay in it, then a lot of those picks 7 years out it's going to be disastrous for them. So they can't live in it. So I'm interested to see what smaller moves they make, but it's not going to be their core guys. But that's what happens. Like when you keep your guys together and you pay them all and you have bird rights, you can continue to go over the cap to sign them. Now, I don't believe for a second that all those guys are going to finish their contracts in Boston because, like I said, you're going to have a new ownership coming in as they're selling now. They got that team to the top. They won a chip. They got all their guys signed. They got all their guys paid. A new owner's coming in can do whatever they want with it, and we'll see what happens from there. Tony says the Bruce Brown t-shirt's gonna be fire. Gotta get that overseas shipping organized. I have it set up now for overseas shipping. I just gotta get it. I just gotta get in the back end of the site and get that turned on. We got that mapped out. I got that sorted on a couple of different things. I just gotta get in and build that out now. Just haven't really had the time, but I got you this summer. That will get done. Bridget says Empire Jeff and Stephen A on First Take would be fire. Oh man, that would be incredible. That would be like my dream come true to be out there. That would be incredible. My God, I'm telling you, I know that Stephen A gets on a lot of people's nerves. I know he speaks his mind, he does his thing, but from a talent standpoint of watching a guy who's done his thing his whole career, like I said, he's been an influence on me for a long time. That would be incredible to be able to do something like that, man. For real though, when Bruce Brown gets traded to the Lakers, Jeff has to throw a party and share some of that agent commission with the community. Oh man, here y'all go. That's Stephen A. Smith rant on Kwame Brown though. Oh yeah, man, that was he's got some classic rants, man. Some classic. And again, like it is. Look, I don't necessarily love everything that ESPN has become nowadays. I don't love it. I feel like everything had its golden, had its like golden era, and right. And ESPN is currently definitely, obviously not in their golden era anymore. But ESPN in its day was just so great, man. And ESPN where it is now, it's just different. And I don't know, maybe it's just I'm at a different point in my life. Maybe as we all get older, it's just a little different. I get most of my news from the internet now and clips and stuff like that. I don't sit and watch whole shows anymore. So maybe that's why. But Stephen A. Smith is still a talent. Don't get it twisted. He's doing what gets attention and what sells. And shout out to him, man. Speaking of shouting out, man, we got to 1,500, y'all. Thank you to whoever was that 1,500th subscriber. I appreciate you. We are now at 1,500 subs on Empire Jeff TV. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And thank you guys. Shout out to everyone over on Twitter as well. I'm seeing a bunch of you on the building right now, over 100 people over there. So make sure to follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Like the post and share it out there as well. But appreciate everyone on YouTube, man. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would also drop a like on the video, man. We got 34 likes on the video right now. Need more than that. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, appreciate you, man. We got to 1,500. So shout out to you guys for continuing to grow this community. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. I'll just leave it at that. Hey, to teach his own. Teach his own. And I get why this version of him, I get why a lot of people, but I'm talking about like the Stephen A. Smith that I watched on the come up, the columnist, the beat writer, his early days, his early stages. Like I've watched him for so long that I've seen kind of every chapter of what he is and what he's been. And I can get why some people might not like the current one of it, but I still respect the man's hustle and his career. I definitely do. What's going on, Big Baby? Appreciate you, man. Make sure to go subscribe to Big Baby Sports, man. Got an excellent show over there. Go subscribe. You got a channel, man. LeBron James, I'm the GOAT. He said, let's see. Jeff, any updates on Rob? Do you think he will make moves to improve the backcourt on our roster? I think he's going to make moves, guys. I just don't know what. There's no way this entire team comes back next year. That would be insanity. That's not happening. We just got to be a little patient, man. Purple and Gold said Denver lost 2 key players in a row, Bruce Brown and now KCP. Yeah, they basically traded Reggie Jackson for nothing. So, they're cutting costs too. No one's really bashing them, but they're cutting costs as well. Savage says DeMar does not fit the Lakers. Him averaging 24 was fake. He literally took most of those shots. He was not good off ball, not signing and trading anything for him. Here comes Savage, not liking any move the Lakers are going to do. They got to do something, man. And it's drying up out here. It's drying up in these streets, man. It's drying up, man. Chris says, let me know if you go to Summer League. Yeah, I'm trying to make it work. But like I said, you guys know I had some family obligations and stuff that I was working through the last week. Things are better. But just want to continue to make sure things go that path, but definitely will do. Dude, what's going on, man? Saudi is buying the Celtics. There's gonna be another crazy multi-billionaire coming into the league, man. Just another crazy, filthy rich owner for the Lakers to have to deal with, man. Book it. Saudi needs a team. Boston is it. Yeah, you might not be wrong there. DeRozan and Vando altering in that 3 position will be nice. Max and Connect at shooting guard. I think Braun would still take a pay cut for 2 players off the market. DeMar, even though I don't want him, and Miles Bridges, no one else makes Lakers better. Yeah, it's got to be someone that Braun improves those for sure. Big Baby says, question, do you think the Lakers go in for Trey Young? I wouldn't put it past them, but I hope not. I don't think it's a fit. But I hope they don't get desperate enough to do that. But we'll see. Get those DeRozan shirts done. Yeah, that one would be dope. Stephen A. versus Jeff Lakers debate. That would be fun, man. That would be fun, man. That would be crazy. There are a lot of guys that are fun. That would be fun to just talk sports with in general. And I like those. I like those passionate ones. I like those animated ones, man. I can get animated with the best of them. I can get passionate with the best of them. You guys know a certain side of me on here. You guys know kind of the never too high, never too low, because that's the brand I want to build on YouTube, right? I want to be known for that. But don't get it twisted in a second, man. I could get animated like a mug, all right? Don't get it twisted. This summer, I'm telling you, members, the member-only videos, they're going to see. Anyone that's on my IG has seen it a few times too. I let it slip on there a few times. But I could get very animated if I choose to. But I don't on this platform. I just really don't. But I can definitely if I choose to. But anytime you get in debate with someone that's animated, that can be fun at times, man. Bridget says, one of the reasons I like DeRozan is because he's a dog. Yeah, this team needs dogs, man. D'Lo's a puppy. You know what I mean? He a pussycat, you know what I mean? He's not a dog, you know what I mean? We need dogs out here, man. And that's been my whole thing with Bruce Brown is that we need a dog. It don't got to be Bruce Brown. We just need a dog. Stephen A is on YouTube now. Maybe a collab on YouTube. That would be fantastic. He just has no idea who I like. He doesn't even know my channel exists. You know what I mean? So people would say, "Oh, Pull He's like, who the hell is that?" You know what I mean? He's too big to come on this show. He ain't gonna do that. KD, what it do, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you. Hope you're having a good night, brother. Jeff, do you think Rob ducking questions tomorrow? That's what I'm thinking, man. He better have something for Laker Nation in the morning, man. Because if not, that's going to be wild, man. Rob going to sit up there and tell some stories about the Greek gods and Noah's Ark and all kinds of craziness, man. Rob's got to get up there and talk basketball. What's going on, Reg? What's going on, my brother? Appreciate you tuning in. Reg from the Locker Room. If y'all don't follow the Locker Room already, so I'm sure most of you do, pull up on the Locker Room, man. Great show, man. Very, very, very entertaining. Reg is one of a kind for sure. Great work over there. One of the guys that inspired me to have a channel. For those who know the story, man, got COVID for the first time, was kind of locked in a room for 10 days, kind of discovered like content creators on YouTube covering basketball. Reg is one of the first guys, and literally listened to him every night since. And Reg is one of the guys that inspired me to, do YouTube and have a channel and talk my talk my way of sports and just like be myself and do it my way and not necessarily try to fit in and do all panels and do all these things. And so shout out to Reg, man. I appreciate you, brother, man. Like I said, one of the guys that inspired me. So make sure, pull up on the Locker Room, give him a sub over there. Great entertaining over there, man. Where we leave off at. Doob says last year, Jaylen Brown, biggest contract ever. Today, Tatum, biggest contract ever. Yeah, man. The green is getting the green over there, man. Alejandro says Stephen A. Smith trying to cover the Oscars was the best ever. I'm hearing some black coaches were not happy with Will Smith's last movie was not working. Damn. Wow, that's crazy. Festo, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you. Doob says next week, Saudi Arabia buys the Boston Celtics. New Englanders go wild. Oh my God, that'll be, man. We can't commit, man. We can't even, man. We can't have an NBA owner got Saudi money, bro. Nah, man. We can't be having Mr. Thank You on the on the Celtics out here, bro. LA for Life says I feel bad for Bronny and DK tomorrow. All the questions are gonna be about the off season. Yeah, I get you. Katie said, bro, can they, if they trade players, but that's hard cap, the second apron, can they not use the MLE or the trade? So there's the thing. Anything that they do will hard cap them at the first apron, whether it be sign and trade or using that full MLE. So if you're going to be hard capped at that first apron by doing one of them, you might as well do all of them. And that's taking back more than you send out, doing a sign and trade, and using the full MLE. If the event that they still have it, if Braun doesn't say, F this, give me the max, I'm done waiting. Like, so they will be hard capped no matter if they do any of those things singularly. Like, so they might as well do all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're capped anyways. Let's see. G.I. Sabar, what's going on, man? Would you do AR and pick swaps for Laurie? Start D'Lo, Max? I would send AR for Laurie for sure. I would. But bro, I'm telling you, like Utah would want Austin, Connect, the 29, the 31, remove protection on 27, swaps, and seconds. Now, we saw what Bridges went for. We saw that. I don't think the Lakers are in position to spend those type of assets on someone like Markkanen. You know what I mean? I don't think they're in position to do that. I don't think you can give the Utah Jazz your entire future. That they would have 31, 29, 27 swaps. I mean, I don't think you can give one team everything like that. Like that is. Now, you could obviously get out of it if things hit the fans. Bron's retired. You can trade AD. You can trade some of these guys out to get assets back. But, man, if AD comes up with some type of like career-ending injury, which ain't the craziest thing in the world to say, you think we're bad now? Oh, man. Imagine Brooklyn fans having to watch the Boston Celtics, all those picks that they got and won those championships. Johnny says, Rob going to say something stupid later. He going to talk about something, like I said, man. He going to talk crazy about something. Bridget says, Sexton and Kessler is an interesting trade to me. Probably not super expensive. And if you add DeRozan to that on an MLE, I like it. Sexton, Reeves, DeMar, Braun, AD with Kessler, Connect, Max Vando, and Rui bench. I don't believe that DeRozan's coming on the mid-level, though. I'll believe that when I see it. But outside of that, I got to check the math on that. I don't know what the price tag is for Sexton and Kessler. You got to think that they're going to want at least one unprotected first. And if you're making that trade with Sexton's money, then either D'Lo or Rui are gonna have to go in that trade. Bloodhound says, "What's on up, Bloodhound? Rob going to do a comb over again to distract everyone." Bashing the comb over here. Tina Guzman, what's going on, Tina? I can't stand Rob's stories. He puts me to sleep. Yeah, Rob, you got to stop with the stories, bro. You got to stop with the stories, bro. There's no. Stop with the stories, Rob. Rob's tall tales. Yep. I can't picture you being a big mouth like Stephen A. You seem like a humble and respectful dude. I mean, no, I'm not well, I could be a loud mouth. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can get animated for sure. But a big mouth like that, nah. I respect people. I do my best not to talk over people. I do my best to hear people's side and hear their takes. I don't intentionally try to make people feel stupid. You know what I mean? Now it's different. If we in a battle, if we're in a war of words, then man, I'll let it spray. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I would be less aggressive than Stephen A. Smith. I could say that. I could compliment him on what I like about him and about his career that I've watched from the get-go. I can speak on that. But at the same time, I would be more respectful. He could be disrespectful sometimes. He definitely can. Purple and Gold says, yeah, Jeff, I want you to debate them Laker haters, Rob Parker and Skip. I'll put 1 week paycheck on you. Oh, Rob Parker for sure, man. Rob Parker, like, man, I can't listen to him. And I don't say that about a lot of people. It's just I can't really listen to him. And it's no disrespect. It's just, certain shows I don't watch, certain music I don't like, right? I can't really listen to him. He don't do it for me. I can't. Broussard either. I don't really listen to Broussard a lot. A lot of those guys, I mean, big ups to them, shout out to them, respect to them. They got a career I aspire to have one day, right? So shout out to them. They're further along than I am or may ever will be. But I gotta recognize that, right? But outside of that, I can't sometimes. I can't. Some people, like, I just can't listen to. Even now on YouTube, there's some people I just can't. Like, I just can't, man. But shout out to them though. Fofo, what's going on, Fofo? Rob out there, prob not sleeping or else Freddie. Lakers Nation's coming for him. Yeah, 1, 2, the Nation's coming for you. Man. Oh man, we got Joe Soro in the building. What's going on, Joe? He said, "What the hell is this?" Ladies and gentlemen, we got Bronny James's biggest fan in the building. So now Joe Soro is gonna add that Bronny James jersey in the closet right next to his Dave Roberts jersey. His pride. His prized possessions. Oh man, love you, Joe. Moneyball, what's up, man? Palika don't even see small moves he can make, like Kyle Anderson, Batum, who resigned with the Clippers. Those small moves could have helped. Both shoot threes, rebound, defense. Yeah, man. That's kind of. I mean, like I said, I was giving some credit to the moves that the Clippers did. I was getting some backlash for that, but I was being real about it. Like I think they pivoted in the only way they could have, and they did a pretty decent job, in my opinion. But yeah, Rob sometimes got that tunnel vision, man. He do got that tunnel vision sometimes. Perimeter. Okay, I mean, people talking to other people. Let me mind my business. Do you think Rob is asking for consultation from JJ on who to acquire? I don't know about consultation. That I don't know if I'd use that word. I think that he's speaking with him on who he thinks would work in whatever system he's going to build, right? I think he wants to know who's going to may fit and they can plug in there. Elder, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you for tuning in. Great talking to you earlier, man. We ain't been on the same panel or stream for a while, man. That was dope. It was great to talk to you earlier. That was fun. That was interesting for sure. But definitely gonna talk to you. Got to get you on this summer, man, a couple of times, man, and break some things down. And obviously on Kareem's channel and all that. But hope you're doing well. Great to talk to you. Legend in these YouTube streets, brother. Appreciate you, man. Savage says, Jeff, my favorite offseason plan was Miles Bridges, sign and trade with Nick Richards, but I wanted Rui gone. Seems like they really value him, and it would have to be D'Lo. Yeah, I know you've been on that for a while, man. I know you've been on that for a while. And like I said, I haven't heard it, Savage, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. It's just nowhere out there. But maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe that's a good thing. We'll wait and see. JJ having second thoughts about this job. That's wild. Genie should sell the team to the British royal family to counter the Saudi coming to the Celtics. Oh my God. They're not selling the team, man. Chris Haynes said on TV, it's quiet at Lakers right now. Haven't heard any of them talking about any moves since Klay. I mean, maybe, or just maybe he doesn't know, right? Maybe he just doesn't know. Elo, did you see Dan's trade proposal for Trey? I did it. What was it? Dan be having some crazy proposals, man. Which one did he say? Which one did he say? Well, I want to hear it. I've seen some crazy proposals out there, man. I'm pretty sure his isn't the worst. I've seen some pretty crazy. Like, bro, I've been on these. Look, I think it's kind of dope that a lot of fans like are kind of becoming more aware of the CBA now. I think it's cool that they're paying attention to things like hard caps and salary cap and all these things. I think it's cool, but paying attention and having any slight clue what you're talking about are like two different. Oh my God. Like somebody, oh man, let me stop. LeBron Dodgers for life. Google hater and a picture of Rob Parker pops up. He's the biggest hater. Rob Parker is a different individual, man. Jose, what's going on, bro? Jeff, what trade gets us to the 4th or 5th place in the Western Conference? A trade of unhealthy for healthy, for one. A trade from a coach that lost the team to a coach that the team believes in. Those two alone could be a big, big boost. Outside of that, where we are currently right now, a trade that is quote unquote realistic, a DeRozan, marketing, like I said, a Sexton Kessler trade wouldn't be terrible. A Brogdon Kuzma trade might not be terrible. Like there's moves out there that can be made. The 4th or 5th, like you could get, I'm telling you could get. Like there's teams going to be stepping back. There's teams like the Lakers could have got 4th or 5th this year. Like they really could have, if not for injuries and just total anarchy in that locker room. So they're not too far away from that, honestly. Now contention and being a title favorite is a different scenario altogether. I would have D'Lo and Gabe going out in the Jazz trade. If they prefer Rui over D'Lo, I do it. One first potentially gets it done. Okay. Jeff, if we get Trey, just be happy for DTLF. Okay. Look, if we get Trey, Dan may go full-fledged ballistic. I know he was talking about Trey for a while. Like I said, it's just funny, right? Because what I've always said about is everyone's just different perspectives on certain things. I don't know if anyone's right or wrong in any of this, right? But my thing is like I just don't think Trey is a fit. I know Dan has always said he thinks he is. It's just that, right? It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean he's wrong or vice versa. We won't know till we see it. But at the end of the day, I just don't want it. That's just me. I think there's enough people that do want it. I think there's enough people that don't want it. The only way we'll know for sure is if we ever see it happen. And that's it. Love you too, Joe. Love you too, brother. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Worst case scenario, let's get Brian Cook or Robert Sacre. We need 5s to back up 80. Shout out to Brian Cook, man. He used to date one of my homegirls, man. Shout out to Brian Cook. I used to see him all the time. Shout out to Brian Cook. Nah. That ain't gonna happen, Miguel. You'll never hear me say that word. Katie said it was Trey for D'Lo and Gabe. 3 for 1. Who was the 3? Trey. Okay, gotcha. D'Lo for Trey for D'Lo, Rui, and Gabe. Nah. I'm not doing that. Well, I mean, damn it. Yeah, I mean, okay. Here's the thing. Let me take that back. You almost have to because of the money, right? But that's why I think I don't know what Trey's value is right now. I don't even know what his value is right now. But because I'm not high on Trey coming, then almost any proposal I'm not gonna like. So let's just throw that out there. But then kind of like to attack myself here, I'm also the guy that would like Bruce Brown here at $22 million, and that's way too much for him, right? So I can point the finger at myself for being crazy in a way too, right? So I won't like any trade that's 3 for 1 for Trey just because I'm not big on Trey, right? That's why. So my opinion, like I'm not gonna like any of these trade scenarios. You know what I mean? But that, you got 18 is 36, and you got to throw in Gabe to get to like 40, 49. So you still have to take something else back from Atlanta. But it'd be somewhere in the realms of that because of the money. It would. But like I said, Trey, I think could help the offense. I just think that's lunch meat come playoff time. I just think that's lunch meat, and the guards are going to kill him come playoff time. And you can't hide him if you got Reeves out there. You can't hide both of them. So that's my only beef with it. He's just gonna get picked apart like crazy. And now in that Denver series, like I said, when in a game where you're close and he can help you in those situations, but will those games be close if he's on the floor the whole time against that team? Right? I don't know. I legitimately don't know. Bridges says perimeter, it is easier, but I'm not huge on DFS in 2024, and Cam's contract is that. Cam's contract is not bad now. $23 million is the mid-level exception is going to be up at around 20, like in the coming future. You know what I mean? So 23 is not terrible. The cap is going up 10% each year. Cam's contract is getting better each year. So that's not too bad. I prefer Sexton and Kessler over Cam and DFS. Okay, that's fair. Let's see. Alejandro said Dan was so pissed when the Lakers drafted Connect live, and then the next day after everyone said it was a steal, he was celebrating. Dad switched up on us. I didn't see him live. Like I can't speak to it. That's funny though. Like I've never when I just knew that when ESPN kept showing, like, literally ESPN's draft experts were like throwing major fits about him still being available, that I'm like, I made a joke like the Lakers probably drafted him just because ESPN was making such a big deal about it, right? But I just know so many people were excited, and so many people that watched a lot more college basketball than me. I knew his name. I saw him against Purdue. I saw him in a tournament, but I didn't watch a lot of college basketball this year. But I knew his name. So I knew the fact that they got him. I saw him on all the draft boards being lottery. Like, matter of fact, like he was 6, 8, 9, like 10. Like, I know he was a top 10 talent, right? So I knew when he was slipping, I'm like, well, if we can get him, I didn't know all the names, but obviously when he slipped, I knew his name. But I was getting hit up by a bunch of people when that happened, and a lot of people were happy to watch college basketball. I've seen crazier. I saw one time Sexton, Laurie, and Kessler for D'Lo, Rui, Gabe, and picks with some of them are nuts, man. I mean, to his credit though, he's wanted Trey for a long time. Trey's been one of his favorite players since Trey came into the league. So when you like a player, you do. You know what I mean? I know the guys like Trey and like that. A lot of the gamers, a lot of people who play 2K and like all that stuff, they just love Trey. They just love Trey. Trey had some moments, he really did, but he's just not for me. It's nothing personal, just not for me. You see Dad's gonna wave that Laker flag for 5 minutes if the Lakers get Trey. Yeah, he might, man. He might. I'll take DeMar, mid-range killer. Yeah, for sure. Moneyball says Lakers need to jump on the Wiseman kid. He is 7 foot and only 23 years old. That's like a new draft pick. Yeah, Moneyball, but the problem is if he's a project, how much time do you got to work with him? We need to win now. Hit a like button. That's right. We did get to the 1,500 subs, so shout out to y'all for that. I thank y'all for that, man. Greatly appreciate it. Where we at with the like count, though? We sitting here at 47 likes on the video. We need more than that. 90 people on YouTube right now. Hit that like button. You'd be greatly appreciated, man. Savage says every center on the market people thought was a vet minimum went for way more. The people thought the center is crazy. Yeah, the center market is getting there, man. Elder says Trey offensively would be sweet. Offensively, I hear you. I'm definitely not arguing that. Just that defense come playoff time, Elder, would be woof. It was a thin center market this season. Yep. Jeff, I compare you more to Colin Cowherd. He's professional, quiet, and his takes are respectful. I mean, I've listened to Colin Cowherd for a long time too, so I appreciate that, man. Anyone that you guys compare or give me credit to that's up in that upper echelon, I just say thank you, because the odds of me ever making that level are slim to none, right? So appreciate y'all, man. I do try to be thoughtful in my takes. I do try to not just be talking just to talk. I do try to stay away from narratives. I don't repeat other people's takes and pass them off as my own. I don't just take reports and cover those like I'm breaking down something that y'all just didn't read yourselves. Like, I do try to add details to things. And in my years of watching, covering, and coaching, like all these different perspectives I have, I really try to add value to the content and not just kind of do the same cookie cut stuff. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all appreciate that. And it's that's just kind of my style. I'm a detail oriented guy, and so I believe that the details matter, and that's kind of how I go about it. So I can see the comparison there. So I appreciate it. Trey needs to wear heels while playing. Oh man, AD for heels. What are you doing, Taco Business? He said Trey needs to wear heels. That's hilarious. Trey and Sadiq Bey. Sadiq tore that ACL, so he's gonna be out most of next year, man. And they just they didn't pick up his option. He's a unrestricted free agent. No one signed him, but he's got a torn ACL, so he ain't gonna be back for a while. If we get Trey, DTLF will get a 2025 champs tat immediately. Young Clown and Dad, man. Who would you rather keep, Jeff, Wood or Hayes, if one of them needs to be included in the trade? Hey, D Prince, what's going on? See, here's the thing. Naturally, I would say Christian Wood, but this the distractions he was dealing with in his life last year, and he was just a non-factor. You have to consider that. So, but Jackson Hayes just isn't enough. So maybe Wood because of the skill, but man, it would still be tough. Reeves would be in the trade. I wouldn't give up Reeves for Trey. I wouldn't do that. You think they're gonna do something tomorrow? Maybe. We'll see. Day 3. Trill, what's going on, man? Man, I hope we don't trade D'Lo away for overpaid DeMar at mid-level, and trading D'Lo for a different player isn't bad, but DeMar is a bad defender, can't shoot threes, a playoff dropper, and old. I get where you're coming from, Trill. I just don't think they're getting DeMar at the mid-level. I don't. And while I do have some concerns about DeMar and the fit, I can see some layers in there. And if JJ can unlock some things, I don't see this as a Westbrook situation. I don't see that. Jeff, you're right about using both sign and trade and MME. Just get one of the players Braun would take a pay cut for, like Bridges, and sign Gary Trent Jr. with the foot MLE and move to Summer League. Yeah, there's something like that. You know what I mean? Jeff, what is your feeling on your side chicks, the Knicks? I love what the Knicks are doing, man. I love what the Knicks are doing. And they still are under the first apron. They're building out a heck of a roster, and they still got a ton of financial flexibility. So that's impressive. They've added wings. I like what Philly's done. The Atlantic up there, man. That the Northeast of the NBA conference, man, it's going to be it's going to be a battle, man. It's definitely going to be a battle. I still have Boston being the class out there, but it's going to be a battle. If Bulls give us a pick to take Zach LaVine contract, would you take it? I've been contemplating that, man. That money is just so big, man. The money is so big. There's so many years left on it. That would have to be like a worst case scenario for me, man. That'd have to be worst case scenario for me, man. But someone was asking him, like, getting a pick though, makes you think about it. But I'd still probably say no. Truth over facts. What's going on? Said pass on Trey. Yeah, I would too. Imagine the NBA was like the MLB. Woo, man. I saw a mock draft where Connect was number 3 overall. Yeah, man, he was. Man, we got to steal there. He still got to, come out and deliver on the court, though. Ice traded gang. What's up, the kid? Trey Young is awesome. He's been underrated recently. For example, he is better than Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Halliburton, but his contract and value to get him would destroy our team. I don't know if he's better than those two guys, but he's just his value has dropped tremendously for sure. Trey Young is a liability on defense. Facts. Fofo says, if we get Trey, Dan would be wearing the retired Laker lucky jacket and waving the flag with the shades on. Oh, man. He might. I've had enough of D'Lo's inconsistencies. Can't take my chances on him anymore. He gets traded for us to get good pieces and free up a roster spot. Yep. Hepatitis, see you later. What's going on, my guy? If that pick from the Bulls helps us up the ante for Walker Kessler, then it might be worth it. I just, the length of that contract. Yeah, if you get that first from them and you give up something, you won't be able to get obviously like Sexton in that deal because your money would pretty much be tied there. But there's a layer to that. I guess that's fair. If the Lakers were going to trade an unprotected first for a wing, would have rather went after Denny. Who are you talking about? Not sure you're talking about Denny. What just happened? Not sure what you mean by Denny. D Prince says, praying that Connect will at least turn into a 60% prime Klay in 2 to 3 years, especially if we trade our future first rounders. I mean, I'm not putting too much pressure on the kid. We got to see how he plays, man. Like, we got to see how he plays. I do like the fact that he is 23 because he's ready to play right now. But last time they got a guy like that, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, all those guys were able to play right away. So I do like that about him. I do like that about him. Oh, got you. So I thought you like you didn't finish the name. Who got traded to the Trailblazers? Got you. I thought like you ran out of characters when you were typing. Like, who's he talking about? Sorry about that. Got you. I get you now. No, he's nice. He can stretch the floor too. I just thought like you ran out of characters. I'm like, well, who is he talking about? Jeff, do you have some insights on Muggsy Bogues? How did he have an NBA career with that size? Yeah, Muggsy was just effective, man. He was a very good point guard. He's a very good point guard. He played well with bigs. He can make some shots. He was a very good, high school, college player and made it to the league. He was a good point guard. It's a different league then, though. Totally different league then. But he was a really good point guard. Like Spud Webb was different. He was crazy athletic for his size. But Muggsy, like just a different league then. And he was a good point guard. Jeff, what move after DeMar move is complete? Who do you think we get? I don't know. Because like I said, they could trade for someone into that, like a Robert Williams fits right into that. So you don't have to sign someone with MLE. You could trade for it. So I have to look around the league and see. Maybe I'll do a video on that tomorrow. Maybe I'll look around and see who would be an option if they pull off that sign and trade. Splitting the mid-level between Gary Trent and Hield would be nice if the market drops. Yeah, they can also do that. They can split it up. Alejandro says, we get Trey and DTLF may go on a nonstop celebration marathon stream driving from his car on the 10 freeway for 24 hours straight with that flag. If you have seen that, you know. You're going to be excited, man. Isn't Kuz and Brogdon available for trade? Yes. We had good trade relations with Wizards lately. Will you be okay with that target, Jeff? So Prince, I hear that narrative a lot. It's a false narrative now. Keep in mind, that guy who we had that relationship with got let go from Washington. It's now Michael Winger, who was the GM with the Clippers under Lawrence Frank. He's now running the Wizards. It's not the same guy we have the relationship with. That's gone. So be mindful of that. I know a lot of people are talking about the relationship there and this and this and that. It's not the same organization anymore. So be mindful of that. We don't have that relationship anymore. Bogdanovich is better comp than Klay from what I heard, but I don't know. Okay. Gary Trent and Buddy are terrible on defense. I would be aware of those two. Defense, yeah, but they're gonna need some shooters. Gary Trent, when he first came in, man, he could defend. You remember Gary Trent Jr. in the bubble? Man, he was pressing like crazy. He was being a defensive hawk. He's lost that though. How did Muggsy Bogues survive defensively? Just different. Like I said, different league, dude. Like it was harder hand checking. You could do a lot of different things. You can knock dudes over. It's just a different league back then, man. He wouldn't be able to do it today in this league, no, for sure. But on that note, guys, I didn't realize it's midnight my time. I gotta get up early tomorrow, so I'm gonna shut it down for the night. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank y'all for spending the night here with me. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the jokes. Appreciate all the compliments. Appreciate all the chats. I appreciate the subs. I appreciate the likes. Appreciate everything, man. So I salute y'all, man. Appreciate if you guys are new to the channel. Like I said, make sure to subscribe on the way out, and we'll be up in here tomorrow night again as well. And drop a like on your way out. Y'all have a good rest of your night, and you have a great Tuesday tomorrow. And we'll talk tomorrow. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good night.